Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is my review for Arrow Season 3, Episode 11, Midnight City. And I gotta say, guys, I was worried for this show. When they killed off Oliver, I didn't know what direction they were gonna take the series in. But honestly, I'm gonna be honest, this is the most I've ever loved Arrow. Like, I literally am in love with with the direction they're taking Arrow. I think it's a very daring direction. I love where they're going with it. And just everything about this episode. This was by far the best episode of the season. It really was. Yeah, the way this episode was done was just fantastic. We had so many great moments in this episode and so many sad moments as well, which I really love seeing. And everything about this episode was just fantastic. I absolutely loved it. Let's just get to it because it was amazing. And I really loved, as I said, the direction the Arrow was headed. So we start off in a fantasy sequence, and this was really weird the way we started because at first I'm like, am I seeing this right? Because at first I thought Oliver just randomly came back to, he randomly came back to Star City and everything, and he was there to, because they found him or whatever. He's all we see is Oliver having a conversation with Felicity. That's all we see. And then we see, though, that he's having the conversation that he had with her in the finale, only that he decided to stay behind with Felicity instead of going to the duel. And he starts bleeding from his mouth. She backs away from him, screams. He wakes up in the cabin where he was brought by Maseo last week. And that was fucking weird. I'm sorry, but that was a really weird way to start the episode. And already I'm like, I love this episode because it's showing how Oliver feels what he did to Felicity. I mean, she's crushed right now, and he knows that she is. And I love seeing Oliver being taken this direction. What I do like is that we're not seeing too much of Oliver, and I like seeing Oliver kind of defenseless over what's happened to him. He doesn't, we're not really seeing him fight or anything, which I like seeing because we're so used to seeing Oliver fight and things like that, and I thought was very well done. Also, Felicity talked to, in his dream, Felicity talked to Oliver about how she doesn't feel like he's going to be able to kill Ra's al Ghul. And I like seeing that because I feel like Oliver might be starting to questioning himself. I mean, I think this is definitely getting him to question himself of, do I still want to not kill people? Because I feel like if he, when he does come back, when he's okay and everything, to kill people again, I definitely feel like he's going to think twice about, possibly not killing people. I think he's going to go ahead and kill someone. Definitely, I could see him killing someone. Who do I think is going to kill? Ra's al Ghul. Because, I mean, Ra's al Ghul did this to him, and I think he was going to kill him, but we'll see what happens there. So Tatsu brings him a cup of herbs and tea, and she says that the two aren't still in contact, but that Maseo called her for Oliver's sake. Maseo brings Oliver back to his cot, saying that he will return to Nanda Parbat once the storm has passed, and Oliver's concerned that Roz will kill Maseo if he discovers that he saved Oliver. But Maseo tells him not to worry because, basically, not to worry, instead worry about what's happening in Starling. Now, in Starling, we see a girl's being attacked in the glades by one of Rick's men, and there's Laurel now as Black Canary. And I gotta say, I love Laurel as Black Canary. I was very worried how she was gonna be taking Sarah's place, and honestly, I love Laurel's Black Canary. She's perfect as her. She's badass, and just Kate Cassidy is just on fire this season. So good this season, and just I loved her in this episode. She was so good. Laurel's trying to stop him, and he's nearly killed before Arsenal rescues her. And back at the foundry, he and Diggle are trying to convince her to stop putting herself in danger. But she says, and I like what she says to them because she says, without Oliver, people are afraid of Black Canary. And I like seeing that because, you know, they're genuinely scared of her. They're not going to commit any crime, and she basically just wants. It's not even about getting revenge on her sister's death now. It's not even about that. What it's about now is taking Oliver's place and sort of doing what Oliver would have done. Because I mean, Arsenal and Diggle, while they have done a good job of trying to help out people and keep crime off the street, they haven't exactly done anything that Oliver wouldn't have. So I like seeing that Laurel wants people to be genuinely scared of the Black Canary, which I like seeing. So Thea and Chase pass one another outside Verdant for what is apparently the first time since they kissed, and there's awkward flirtation, and he leaves, and I don't know what to feel about Chase. I mean, the whole episode, I'm like, there's something off about this guy. I didn't know what it was, but we find out what it is later. Malcom shows up to tell her that she needs to leave the city with him, and I was like, at first it was like, okay, why is Thea not leaving the city with Malcom? Because it looked like she was. We see that she's not, and he asks why she still hasn't packed, and she says that she won't leave until he tells her the truth, but he won't. And I thought that was very well done that we saw that. I mean, he needs to tell her what really happened. He needs to tell her exactly what she needs to know. He needs to tell her that Oliver is dead, that Oliver's the arrow and everything. And definitely, like, he's trying to keep that secret from her, and he needs to tell her that. So I'm very interested in seeing what's going. He needs to tell her that Oliver he thinks is dead and everything, and he's hiding that from her. And I like seeing her kind of be, not really trusting Malcolm. I think it's cool to see because she's been, I think, too trusting of Malcolm. Honestly, I mean, Malcolm's a good guy, and as I said, I feel like he's trying to fix his allegiance with Team Arrow. He's trying to show them that he can be trusted, but at the same time, I can see why she doesn't trust him. I mean, he's done some pretty bad things, definitely. Not just killing, not just killing. Now I can't think of his name, but you know what I'm talking about. I can't think of his name right now, but not just doing that, but also just everything he's done to her. She's very upset at him. So the mayor comes to see Captain Lance at the police department with civic leaders, including Ray Palmer, who suggests calling into the National Guard since increasing money the police will take time to their effect. So Brick enters, telling his man to kill everyone except the mayor and alderman, and to take those two hostage. And between Ray, Lance, and Laurel, they take down the gunman, but not before 3 Aider men were taken. And that was a pretty crazy scene when that was going on. So at the cabin, everything is awkwardly silent, which is never a good thing. Oliver tells Tatsu that he doesn't want to have Maseo. He doesn't want Maseo to head back to the league because, that couldn't end up well. So Tatsu says they can't stop him, that he still blames himself for what happened, and that he's taken off on his League of Assassins name, leaving Maseo behind. And I think that's very interesting that we found that out that he is in the League of Assassins. I mean, I never really would have expected him to be in League of Assassins, so I find that very interesting that he actually is in League of Assassins because I'm interested in seeing where that definitely is going to go. So that could be very interesting where they take that. I really am enjoying Mazeo's character. I like the focus we're getting on him. So we flash back to Hong Kong 5 years ago, and Oliver and Maseo have tracked Tatsu to a club. It's a triad friend. They're discussing their plan to get her back. 2 men come up and put guns in their backs. China waits there. Apparently she made a deal with Maseo for the Alpha in exchange for Tatsu. So in the police department, Felicity tells Lance that Arrow's gone, is surprised to learn he thinks Sarah is back in town. And that was very interesting when she found that out because what ends up happening is that Laurel, there's a scene where he wants to talk to Sarah, and Laurel disguises herself as Sarah because he still thinks that Sarah's around. He doesn't realize, of course, that Sarah's dead, which I understand why Laurel's not doing. She doesn't want to put any pressure on him, and he knows now that Oliver's dead, so he knows that. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he reacts. I mean, they gotta tell him eventually. Really, they do. So Laurel takes one of Brick's men to interrogation and threatening to lock him up in Belle Reve, where members of Salazar's gang are kept under charges of killing Salazar. He folds, telling her where to find Brick, and Arsenal comes to see Malcom at Thea's apartment, warning him to stay off of Thea, not mess with Thea, and basically just leave her alone. Now Malcom tries to scare him off, saying that she'll figure out that he's lying to her and he'll lose her, and Malcom dismisses him. And I like seeing that scene because, I mean, even though he's good with Thea, he does need to sort of go, sort of like take a few steps away from her because I understand what he's doing. He's trying to be like the father that she never had. She always wanted a father, and she had Moira, but she didn't really have a father. So he's trying to be like a good father to her. I mean, he is her father. He's trying to be a good father to her. But I do feel like he's in her life too much. He's doing too much to her, and he does need to step back a little, which I like seeing. Arson, I like seeing Roy talk to him about that. I thought that was very well done. So at Palmer Technologies, Ray admits that he froze at first, flashing back to his wife's death, but that he stood up to the gunman to protect Felicity. He admits that the Atom Project also was interesting to see Felicity not in the Foundry. I like seeing that because, of course, we're so used to seeing Felicity, look up information for them, and now she's not doing that. It was cool to see what was going on there. Now that Laurel's working with them, Felicity's not. I like seeing that. Now, he missed that the Atom Project was starting to avenge Anna, but now it's about protecting the people he cares for, particularly her. And I like that scene because I do want to see Ray and Laurel together. I mean, Ray and Felicity. I do want to see them together because, honestly, Oliver's MIA right now, and I feel like he's just going to stay MIA for the rest of the season. I'm going to talk about why I would like that. But because we can't get Oliver and Felicity together right now, I want to see Ray and Felicity develop a relationship. I think it would be perfect for Felicity if she did this. It'd help her get over Oliver because, I mean, even though he's alive, she does need to get over him a little bit. So I do want to see a general relationship between them. So Roy's going out to find Brick with Laurel, while Diggle stays behind to keep an eye on a surveillance program. And as Brick and company drive through an alley, Roy and Laurel stop them with explosives. They get back on the road after beating up the heroes, though. And when Arsenal pulls out an arrow and Brick, he kills one of the hostages out of spite, and that was pretty crazy. So Laurel comes to see Lance in the mayor's office. He asks her about Sarah again. Brick calls and demands to see the mayor in person. And just this whole thing about Sarah is just every time I mention Sarah, I feel so bad for Lance because he has no idea what's going on. I just feel so bad for I just feel so bad for him. So Malcom comes to see Thea, telling her about Roz, although not about Sarah's death, to try and convince her to go with him. And I like that, basically he's trying to convince her somehow that she should go with him, but she's not telling him, but he's not telling her about Sarah's death. Of course, she killed Sarah. We know this. So that's why he's not telling her. I don't know if he knows that she killed Sarah. He doesn't even know that she knows. So, and very interesting seeing how he reacts when he finds out that she did kill Sarah, because that could be very interesting to see. So Laurel's watching reports on the alderman's murder, when Felicity comes to see her and talk about what happened. Laurel has realized that she can't be Sarah and that she's done trying. And I love seeing that line where Laurel says that I'm done being Sarah, because she's not trying. But here's my thing with Laurel. You're not trying to be like Sarah. What you are doing is you are protecting people. You're protecting people. You're doing what your sister could have done. Yes, she's trying. She's not. I don't think she's trying to be Sarah, though. In my personal opinion, I don't think Laurel's trying to be Sarah. I think what she's doing is she is just taking Oliver's position. She wants someone out there to protect the world, and you need someone to protect the world. So why not Laurel? Laurel's ready for it, so why not? And she says that maybe what Team Oliver does, maybe what Team Arrow does is not to honor the dead, but to help the living. And Laurel says that she thought Felicity quit. And I love that Felicity said that line. I thought that was such a good line when she says they're not there to honor the dead, but to help the living. Because really, what's the point of Team Arrow? Help the citizens of the world. Help the citizens of Starling City. Keep crime off the streets. That's what they're made to do. And I like seeing Felicity say that. And when she said that, I'm like, she's coming back. There's no way they're going to keep Felicity away. So the mayor and Ray Palmer meet Brick, who says that he wants the city and police out of the glades or he'll kill the alderman. And also, guys, one other thing I do want to say about Laurel really quick. When they first mentioned this whole arc, they said basically be Laurel-centric. It really is, and I'm really digging where they're heading with it. I really am enjoying it, because we've gotten a lot of character development for Laurel, but this is the most fleshed out Laurel's character's ever been, and she's honestly becoming one of my favorite characters. I can't believe I'm saying that, but Laurel is becoming one of my favorite characters on this show. I just love her character. I think she's absolutely fantastic, and I love what they're doing with her this season. So I really enjoyed that scene between Laurel and Felicity. So the mayor and Ray Palmer meet Brick, who says he wants the city and police out of the glades or he'll kill the alderman. And Lance calls Felicity for help and says that she says that while the arrow is really gone, she knows where to find the canary. So in the cabin, Maseo prepares to leave while Oliver and Tatsu try to stop him. She kisses him and gives it pause, but he sees men outside. They are League members who are looking for Oliver's body. Hang on one second, guys. Sorry, guys, my mom was calling me. I didn't want to keep her waiting. Sorry about that. But basically, she says that while the arrow is really gone, she knows where to find the canary. And in the cabin, Maseo prepares to leave while Oliver and Tatsu try to stop him. She kisses him and gives him pause, but he sees men outside, and that was very interesting. We saw that Tatsu tried to kiss Oliver. So I'm kind of wondering if there's going to be some tension there where Oliver's like, should I really do this? Because I still, we know he loves Felicity. He told her that he loves her and is doing all this for her. So is he really, does he like Tatsu? Does he have feelings for him? Very interesting seeing if that's true. If he does have feelings for her, that could be a very interesting arc to see. So in flashback, Maseo gives the alpha to China White. It's a fake, and she tells her men to kill them all. Oliver and Maseo fight their way out with Tatsu, but White gets away. And in the foundry, Diggle and Roy are having a drink together and toasting Oliver. Felicity comes in to tell Team Arrow that they need to work even though Oliver is gone. And I agree, they do need to work, and Diggle's down for it, especially since the mayor's gonna fold. I mean, they're basically just sitting back and not doing anything. They don't think that it's a good idea. They don't think that it's a good idea to continue what they're doing. And I like seeing that Felicity's the one that's motivating them, which is surprising because Felicity last week was completely depressed. She didn't seem like she wanted anything to do with Team Arrow, and now it seems like she's the one that's motivating them, which I like seeing. I think it's well done. So Laurel calls Lance, and as I said, she pretended to be Sarah using Felicity software, and they learn that one of the aldermen has a pacemaker, so they try to ping it with a GPS, and when she pretended to be Sarah, I was just like, this is going way too far. What she's trying to do is, I understand what she's trying to do, but she has good intentions, what she's trying to do, not cause any stress for her dad. I understand that because, his heart condition and everything. But what she's trying to do, hiding it from him and things like that, is just not going to end well because there's more and more lies coming out with that. And the more she continues to lie to him, the more upset he's going to be when she initially tells him that she's dead. And I'm not looking forward to seeing Lance's reaction. I know it's coming. It's not coming soon, but I know it's coming. So at Palmer Tech, Felicity comes and asks for the helicopter keys, promising him not to crash Team Arrow's travels via helicopter to 16th and Kent, where the Aldermen are being kept. And at Brick's place, they see the chopper and the men are sent to take them out, but Team Arrow blows through the first group of them with ease. Laurel moving on to Billy Clubs rather than her bow stuff, which she can weld more effectively. They find the Aldermen and start, and I thought that was interesting that she doesn't really use a bow and arrow. She uses Billy Clubs because they're just easier for her. Again, she's not trying to be like her sister, so she wants to do some things differently than her sister, which I like seeing because if she was just like her sister, her character would not be interesting. So I like she's questioning herself about that, and I definitely really enjoyed that. So Laurel gets trapped behind and needs a way out. They use the voice software to distract him away from her so that she can get a jump on him. She leaps out the window and onto the helicopter's ladder when he's down, and back at the cabin, Maseo hides the body and then stabs himself to make it look like Oliver bested him in an escape attempt. And when he did that, I'm like, isn't he trying to save Oliver? And now to me, it seems like he's not trying to save Oliver. And he leaves to Tatsu's chagrin. And in the flashback, the pair are reunited home with their son. Now it feels like to me, Tatsu feels bad for Oliver and wants to protect him. So she's going to try to start a relationship with him to maybe tell him to get out of it or something. I don't know because I don't trust Maseo now, definitely. Especially at the end of this episode, which I am going to talk about. So at the warehouse, Laurel continues to impersonate Sarah when Lance comes to do cleanup and tells her that the mayor is still folding on the Glades. Lance upset when she won't go with him to get food or come see her. And Thea comes and asks Malcom why he would run and if Roz will want them dead anywhere they will go. She tells him that she isn't afraid of Roz and Malcom agrees to stay. So they're not leaving, which I like seeing because I didn't really want to see Thea and Malcolm's storyline leave the show because I really do like it, and I don't feel like I feel like if they were to leave, they would not follow them. We would not see them again till after that. So I like seeing that Thea convinced him to stay because they do need to stay. So at Palmer Tech, Felicity comes saying that the helicopter's back on the roof. She brings him a piece of hardware he's been trying to fix on the Atom suit, saying that maybe it's not a suicide mission if she's there to help. Because, I mean, she was very concerned about him. She thought it was a suicide mission and all this stuff, but now it seems like she's going to help him. And I'm interested in seeing if she's actually going to help him, if they're actually going to be successful with this Atom suit. Definitely, Felicity's definitely back in Team Arrow. There's no questioning. She's going back. She's not back yet, but she is definitely coming back. So then the very end of the episode, this was such a well done final scene. This is what gets me hyped up for another episode. What a twist this took. Chase comes to see Thea Verdant, and it seems like he's having a general conversation to her, but then we see he's reporting back to Maseo via cell phone that she isn't leaving town and to tell Ra al Guhl about it, and basically Maseo and Chase are working together, and that's how the episode ends. And oh my god, that's such an amazing twist. Now, I heard a twist that I think is genius, that Chase could be the son of Ra al Guhl. I can honestly see it. I mean, if he's just there to report stuff to Ra al Guhl and Ra al Guhl told him specifically date Thea, I think it could be very interesting. Because, of course, Ra al Guhl knows that Thea was the one that killed Sarah. So, obviously he's pretty pissed about that, and it makes sense as to what's really going on there. But I thought that, I mean, he actually, no, he actually does know that Thea killed Sarah. He does not know that. So it's going to get very interesting to see what's going on there. Now he's went over Oliver. He's going after Thea, and I'm very interested in seeing what's going to happen there. But wow, so such a good episode. Honestly, guys, I'm going to be honest. I don't want Oliver to come back to Team Arrow till the end of the season because I love the way the season is going. Oliver is in danger right now because Maseo clearly cannot be trusted. There's nothing he can do about it. He has no idea what's going on. He has no idea that this guy isn't there to save him. And I don't think he's there to save him. I think he's there to destroy him because I think that Maseo wants nothing to do with Oliver and will do anything he can to destroy him. And I don't know if that's true, but that could be very interesting if that is true. And I'm very interested in seeing where they're going to take that. Laurel, I love seeing Laurel question herself and just the lying that she's saying to Lance. You can tell that it's not going to end well for her at all with what's happening with her lying to him. It's not going to end well for them. Felicity's definitely coming back to Team Arrow. You can just tell she is. Is Oliver questioning about killing people? I just felt like that dream really made me think that he is questioning about that. That's going to be very interesting to see if he is questioning, because that could be very cool to see. Is Malcom going to be honest with Thea now? Because, I mean, she told him to be honest with her, so is he finally going to tell her the truth of what's really going on? That's going to be interesting to see as well. Brick, I gotta say, is a pretty awesome villain. I love that they have an actual, like, recurring villain rather than this vigilante of the week, this vigilante of the week, this vigilante of the week. I like that it's not like that because I think it's very much better when you have a seasonal villain rather than be a show that's procedural and have a different villain all the time. I like that the show isn't doing that. Is Felicity going to help Ray with his Adam suit? Are they actually going to be successful at that? That could be interesting to see. Is Laurel going to keep impersonating Sarah? I mean, it's not going to end well for her. I mean, just it's not working. I don't see. She did a very good impersonation of Sarah. I will say that she's a very good actress, but it's just not going to end well for her in the long run. I know that she doesn't want to hurt her father, but it's not going to end well for her at all, and I really do feel bad for her. So that's basically my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you guys saw this episode. Also, I love that I love that Felicity was the one that convinced Team Arrow to work together and still stay a good bond and everything because they have such a great bond. I love seeing that this episode. But that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys saw this episode. Overall, guys, by far the best episode of the season. Absolutely love it. I love the focus we're getting on Laurel. I love the focus we're getting on Diggle and Roy. Everyone said these characters didn't have much to do in the beginning of the season, and now they have so much to do, which I love seeing. And that's been my review, and I will see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for tonight's episode of The Vampire Diaries. So I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.